The boardroom on the 47th floor of Axiom Technologies held 312 employees that Tuesday morning. Every screen displayed the same red error message. Every terminal frozen. Then the door opened, and Marcus Webb walked in, worn denim jacket over a faded Axiom maintenance shirt, and behind him, a 6-year-old girl clutching a gray stuffed elephant named Bolt. The laughter started immediately. Someone near the back said it looked like bring your kid to work day at the wrong company. What happened in the next 11 minutes would cost the CEO her quarterly earnings, expose a fraud that had been running for 8 months, and prove that the man they had replaced with an algorithm 3 weeks earlier was the only person in the building who understood how their system actually worked. Stay with this one. The answer is something none of them saw coming. Marcus had been let go on a Thursday. Not fired exactly. Restructured. The email came from Sophia Chen, 31 years old, 18 months into her role as CEO of Axiom Technologies' venture-backed Stanford MBA, brought in to modernize a legacy software infrastructure company that had been profitable but slow. The subject line read, Workforce Optimization Initiative, Your Role. Marcus opened it at 6:47 in the morning while his daughter Lily ate cereal at the kitchen table. Bolt sat in the chair beside her. The email explained that his position as senior systems architect had been made redundant through the implementation of a proprietary AI diagnostic tool developed by the company's new chief technology officer, a man named Dominic Ashford. The AI could monitor, troubleshoot, and resolve system issues in real time. Human oversight was no longer cost-effective. His final paycheck would include 2 weeks' severance. The email thanked him for his 7 years of service. Lily looked up from her cereal. She had her mother's eyes. Her mother had died 2 years earlier. Car accident on the 405. Rain. Marcus did not talk about it much. Are you okay, Daddy? Marcus closed his laptop. He poured himself coffee. The mug had a small chip on the rim. I'm okay, sweetheart. He was not okay. But he was used to not being okay. Marcus had built Axiom's core infrastructure. Not alone, but he had been the lead architect on the distributed monitoring system that ran across 14,000 enterprise clients in 11 countries. He had written portions of it by hand. He knew which modules were fragile. He knew which patches had been applied poorly by contractors. He knew where the system would break under stress because he had watched it break before and he had been the one to fix it. 7 years of nights. 7 years of on-call rotations. 7 years of being the person they called when nobody else could solve it. And now an AI would do his job. Dominic Ashford had arrived 6 months earlier. He wore tailored suits. He drove a Tesla Model S Plaid. He spoke in TED Talk cadences about machine learning pipelines and predictive analytics. He had raised $11 million in seed funding for a previous startup that had been acquired by a larger firm, though nobody seemed to know what the startup had actually built. Sophia Chen hired him because the board wanted innovation. The board wanted someone who could talk about AI in earnings calls. Dominic could do that. He was good at talking. The AI diagnostic tool launched on a Monday. It was called Sentinel. Dominic presented it in the same boardroom where Marcus would later stand. The slides were beautiful. The demo was flawless. Sentinel identified a server lag in the Jakarta office and rerouted traffic before any client noticed. The board applauded. Sophia Chen sent an email to the entire company praising the breakthrough. 3 days later, Marcus received his termination notice. For 3 weeks, Marcus did what single fathers do when they lose their job. He updated his resume. He applied to positions. He made breakfast. He walked Lily to school. He picked her up at 3:15. He helped with homework. He microwaved leftovers. He read her books about elephants because Bolt was an elephant and elephants were important. At night after she fell asleep, he sat in the kitchen and ran the numbers. 2 months of rent in savings. Maybe 3 if he was careful. His phone did not ring with job offers. On the Tuesday morning when everything collapsed, Marcus received a different kind of call. It came at 6:52 a.m. The caller ID said Axiom Technologies. He almost did not answer. Marcus, it's Grace. Oi, Grace Delgado. She had been his administrative partner for 4 years. Quiet. Precise. She noticed things. Grace, I don't work there anymore. I know. But the system is down. Everything. All 14,000 clients. Sentinel tried to push an automated patch at 4 a.m. and something went wrong. Nothing is responding. Dominic has been in the war room since 5. He can't fix it. Marcus said nothing. Sophia wants you to come in. Sophia fired me. She didn't fire you. She restructured you. And now she is asking. Marcus looked at Lily. She was putting on her shoes. Bolt was tucked under her arm. I'll be there in 40 minutes. He could have said no. He should have said no. But Marcus had never been good at saying no when a system was broken. He dropped Lily at school first. Her teacher, Mrs. Ramirez, took her hand at the classroom door. Bolt went with her. Marcus told her he would be back by 3:15. He was always back by 3:15. Lily hugged him and said her daddy smelled like coffee. Then she went inside. Marcus drove to the Axiom building. He had not been inside since the day he cleaned out his desk. He parked in visitor parking. He took the elevator to the 47th floor. The receptionist recognized him but did not know what to say. She buzzed him through. The boardroom was chaos, not loud chaos. Quiet chaos. The kind of chaos that happens when very expensive things are breaking and nobody knows why. Sophia Chen stood near the head of the table. Dominic Ashford sat in front of 3 laptops, all of them open, all of them displaying error logs. Grace stood near the corner with a tablet, taking notes. Around the table sat 12 other engineers, all of them staring at screens, all of them silent. Marcus stepped inside. He still wore his jacket. His hands were calloused from years of building furniture in his garage to save money. Sophia turned. She looked tired. She looked like someone who had not slept. She looked like someone whose board was going to ask very hard questions in about 6 hours. "Marcus, you called?" Dominic looked up. His expression did not change. He did not stand. "We have it under control," Dominic said. "Sentinel is running a secondary diagnostic now. We should have root cause in the next 20 minutes. Marcus walked to the nearest terminal. He did not ask permission. He pulled up the system logs. He scrolled back to 4 a.m. He saw the patch. He saw what Sentinel had done. "It overwrote the authentication handshake," Marcus said. Dominic frowned. "That's not possible. Sentinel doesn't touch authentication." "It does if the load balancer hits a failover state and the AI interprets it as a security event. It tried to re-encrypt the session tokens across all 14,000 clients simultaneously. The system can't handle that." "It never could." Sophia stepped closer. "Can you fix it?" Marcus did not answer immediately. He opened another terminal. He pulled up the back-end configuration files. He found the module he had written in 2019. It was still there. Someone had commented out 3 lines of his code. Someone had added a note, deprecated, replaced by Sentinel automation. He looked at Dominic. "You disabled the manual override." Dominic's face tightened. The manual override was a bottleneck. Sentinel is faster. And Sentinel doesn't understand edge cases. I built that override for exactly this scenario. Marcus did not wait for permission. He uncommented the 3 lines. He rewrote the authentication sequence. He deployed it across the first cluster. 30 seconds later, the Jakarta office came back online. Then Singapore, then Frankfurt, then Dallas. The room went silent. Not the silence of nothing happening. The silence of a room where everyone has just realized they have been wrong. Sophia exhaled. She put both hands on the table. "How long have you known the system could do this?" 7 years, Marcus said. Dominic stood. "This is a temporary fix. Sentinel will optimize it once the system stabilizes." Marcus looked at him. "Sentinel can't optimize what it doesn't understand." Grace spoke from the corner. Her voice was quiet but clear. "Sophia, there's something you should see." She handed Sophia her tablet. On the screen was an email. It was dated 6 months earlier. It was from Dominic to a private equity firm in Delaware. The subject line read, "Axiom Acquisition Opportunity, Infrastructure Vulnerabilities Assessment." The body of the email detailed 3 ways Axiom's system could be destabilized. The third method was titled, "Authentication Cascade Failure via Automated Patch Override." Sophia read it twice. "You knew this would happen." Dominic did not answer. "You built Sentinel to replace Marcus so you could create a crisis and position yourself as the solution." Dominic's jaw tightened. That email was speculative. It was research. It was sabotage. Sophia turned to the 2 security personnel standing near the door. She did not raise her voice. "Escort Mr. Ashford out of the building. HR will be in touch regarding termination and referral to legal." Dominic stood. He looked at Marcus. He looked at Sophia. He buttoned his jacket. He walked out. He did not say anything. There was nothing to say. The room stayed quiet for a long time. Sophia sat down. She looked at Marcus. "I owe you an apology." Marcus said nothing. "I made a decision based on what I thought was innovation. I was wrong. I replaced you with something that looked efficient on paper, and I did not ask the right questions. I should have asked you." Marcus folded his arms. "You want me to come back? I want you to come back as senior systems architect with a 40% raise. And I want you to audit every decision Dominic made in the last 6 months." Marcus looked at the screen. The system was stable now. All 14,000 clients were green. "I need to pick up my daughter at 3:15. Sophia nodded. "Then you leave at 3 every day. No exceptions. And I need my name on the infrastructure documentation, not the company's name. Mine. Done." Marcus picked up his jacket. He walked toward the door. Grace stopped him. "Thank you," she said. "You're the one who called me." "I know. But you're the one who came." Marcus left the boardroom. He took the elevator down. He sat in his car for a few minutes. His hands were shaking. Not from fear. From something older than that. Relief, maybe. Or anger. Or the exhaustion of being right and being ignored and then being needed again only when everything was on fire. He drove to Lily's school. He was early. He sat in the pickup lane and waited. At 3:14, the doors opened. Lily came out holding Bolt. She saw his car and smiled. She climbed into the back seat. "How was work, Daddy?" "It was okay." Did you fix something?" "I did." She buckled her seatbelt. Bolt sat in her lap. "Mommy used to say you were the best fixer." Marcus looked at her in the rearview mirror. He did not trust himself to speak. "She was right," Lily said. Marcus drove home. He made her a snack. Apple slices and peanut butter. She sat at the table and drew a picture of an elephant. She used a gray crayon for Bolt and a blue crayon for the sky. She taped it to the fridge next to 3 other drawings. That night, after Lily was asleep, Marcus sat in the kitchen. He opened his laptop. There was an email from Sophia. The subject line read, "Offer letter, Senior Systems Architect." He read it once. He read it again. He signed it. He did not celebrate. He made tea. He looked at the drawing on the fridge. He thought about his wife. He thought about the fact that he had been angry for 3 weeks and now he was employed again and the anger had not gone away. It had just changed shape. But he had his name back, and he had his daughter, and he had a system that he understood better than anyone else in the building. He closed the laptop. He turned off the light. He went to bed. And in the morning he made pancakes.